Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you inviting me to participate with your district uh, governor-elects and other guests today. And it's my honor to serve the Lions of Constitutional Area 1, the United States, Bermuda, and the Bahamas as your Global Action Team leader. And I am so fortunate. I have 15 outstanding area leaders, of which come July 1st, Mark is going to join our team and do an excellent job of taking care of the global membership approach and working with each of you in the coming year. 22 districts, I believe, and I believe that he has the ability to inspire, to motivate, help district governors to reach their goals, and to help us as we walk through this journey of expanding our footprint of service through engaging more members and developing greater leaders. Let me tell you that the greatest challenge that we have this coming year is this name change. In the South, we would just say we put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. The North American Membership Initiative was very successful in the pilot program. And I had the opportunity to work with Vice President Brian Sheehan from the very beginning and develop this initiative. And in our pilot districts, we found that when we communicated, when we moved from district governor goals to district goals, when we had teams rather than individuals who were trying to lead the way all by themselves, that we found greater success. And in fact, that process is beginning to show results across the United States and Constitutional Area 1. And if you received my newsletter in the last few days, you know that we have chartered more clubs than previous year. Drops have decreased even during COVID. The other day, it was 16% decrease over last year. Now, I understand that we've got 2 weeks to go and we may end up with a 4 or 5% decrease over last year, but every time that we make a step forward, we're getting to the point that we're flattening the curve. And, you know, during COVID, we heard about flattening the curve, and with membership, we are as well. And so we have the global membership approach because the world wanted to buy into this process with us. And it's not a program, it's a process. It's not something that is going to start and go away. It's a process that we're going to encourage district governor-elects to use year after year after year in order for us to continue to build upon the foundation of the previous year, to work together as a team, and to build the momentum to continue to move toward greater heights, because our needs in our communities continue to move forward. And as long as the needs are growing, our association must reverse our membership trends in North America and begin to grow. And so when you hear global membership approach and you hear North American Membership Initiative, I want each of you to understand that they're one and the same. They're a thought process. They're a way that we are working together to put smiles on the faces of those who are in need. Our agenda today is real simple. We're going to talk about the global membership approach and an overview. We're going to talk about the process, build a team of visionaries, build a vision, build a plan, build success. And as we do that, we're going to talk through each of those steps just briefly, because it's so important that our district governor-elects that are coming into office July 1st understand that we're not wanting to step on anyone's toes, but Vice President Brian will begin to talk with his district governor-elects in August to help them and coach them through this process so that we can build upon the success that you as a district governor has next year. And we can leverage that in 2022, 23, so that we become more effective and we begin to see our trends head in a positive direction. I believe that we have the ability in North America during Vice President Doug's year, this coming year, to see positive membership growth. And if we do not achieve it, we're going to be so close that when we get to Vice President Brian's year, we're going to blow it out of the water. It's such an exciting process. We're going to talk about that process shortly. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to have time for questions, concerns, and comments, because I know each of you have questions and comments. One of those that I've heard since I crossed and landed in Fresno a few days ago was, how about this champion position? How about this NAMI champion? How about this global membership champion? How come we got to have two champions and you don't? You got to remember that the global membership approach and the North American membership initiative is one and the same. So when you have a champion, it's champion this process. And we're going to talk about why that you should have a champion in your district, why you should have a champion in your multiple district, why that together we're going to change lives because of this new and exciting thought process. Let's talk about the overview of this North American Membership Initiative, which is now the global membership approach. But I wanted to start with an overview of the North American Membership Initiative because that's where it started. This was the principles. The Vice President, Brian, the steering committee adopted as we began developing this process. We wanted to be club and district focused. How many times have you seen the organizational chart of Lions Clubs International? And here at the top, you've got international president, then you got the board of directors, and it comes down all the way to the bottom, you've got clubs. We wanted to flip that chart where the clubs are the most important thing in our organization. That's where members join. That's where our next generation of leaders reside. And that's where the service is performed. Clubs is where it's at. And we are going to flip that chart and we're going to focus on clubs, zones, districts. We also have to keep it simple. And it is going to be simple. It means that we're focusing on the goals of clubs, zones, and districts. And Lions Clubs International and the headquarters has one role, and that is to support you as district leaders to allocate resources and to help you to reach your goals. We're going to be very accountable, and that accountability is going to come through communication. Just listening and talking with your area leaders, listening and talking with your zone chairs, and making sure that everybody is moving forward together. And so that is our guidepost. And so as you go through your year as a district governor, you come back and you ask yourselves, with every decision you have to make, how does it impact our clubs and our districts? If it impacts it in a positive way, then I should be for it. How does it impact our accountability? If it's holding Lions accountable, then I should be for it. Is it simple or is it complicated? And if it's complicated, we need to find a way to make it simple. We have too many things going on in our life for Lions to be complicated or a burden. But if we can make it simple and we can help our members understand that we appreciate whatever they do, whether that's 1 hour a month or 1 hour a week, that's 1 hour more than we had, that we want Lions to find their passion and their purpose and where they intersect to serve. And you don't have to serve in every project. And every service project doesn't require every member of our club to participate. When we begin to just really boil it down to the fact that we're in the business of serving and putting smiles on the faces of others, then in fact, we can and will find success. We also need to know as district governors and district governor-elects that we need every Lion working together. Every Lion in our association is important. Every Lion, from the one that joined yesterday to the past international president, they each bring a unique talent to the table and each are valuable to the process of developing service, engaging members, and developing leaders. All of us don't have the same talent, and it's okay. And I had that discussion the other day with at my club meeting. I was sitting there and they have a service project this past Saturday. And the president says, Jerome, what hours can you work? And I said, I'm so terribly sorry, I'm going to be in California. And she says, you're out of town every time that we have something going on. And I said, Madam President, there are Lions that have time. There's Lions that have treasure. There's Lions that have talent. And so we must value each of them. And unfortunately, I don't have the time this weekend, but I do have the talent when I get back to help you to do the accounting. And I have friends who can support this project. Let me do what I can when I can, and we're all going to work together well. And that's the attitude that we as district leaders must bring together and understand that we're going to take whatever that our members have to offer, and we're going to utilize it to the very best of our ability, and we're going to motivate them to do more than they've ever done before. Now, why did we start this process? It's because if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. And a decline in membership is what we've gotten for 40 years. And as our membership declines, so does our ability to serve. And as our membership declines, so does our pool of potential leaders. And so we had to do something. And so when we lost all of our excuses, we began to find our results. And I'm so excited to tell you that the results are beginning to show this year. And next year, we're going to build on the momentum. Now, the global membership approach has 3 objectives. One is to rejuvenate districts with new clubs. As we're having our Build a Vision meeting, our team of visionaries are going to help us to decide how to build new clubs in our districts, to revitalize clubs with new members. And there's so many different ways that we can invite members to join our association. Some say, I like to just ask. Others like the format of having a membership growth event where that they can bring in 5, 6, 7 at the same time. We have some clubs that had safari hunts. They printed out a list of all the Lions that had left their association and their club within the last 5 years. They went back to them and talked with them, and they found that some of them, their job situation had changed, their health situation changed, their children had grown up and was out of college, or their parents had didn't require as much care as they maybe did a few years ago when they dropped out, and they were able to bring back people back in. And so it's so important for us to understand that we need to develop a lot of different ideas and let clubs select what they want. And then the best thing is to remotivate our members with new fellowship and exciting service, because we all joined our association to serve. And if we give them an opportunity to serve with their hands, then in fact, they're going to be fully engaged, because they're going to see the smiles on the faces of those in need. And that is going to motivate them to stay with us. And when all 3 of those come together, we grow our membership in Constitution Area 1, Constitution Area 2, and now around the world. This build a team of visionaries, the first step. And if you look at Lions Clubs International, they will just have build a team. I have added visionaries, because each of our clubs in each of our districts has probably 45 or 50 people that are really visionaries that can see into the future. They really want to come together and develop a vision. And as your district governor-elects begin to build their team of visionaries next year, I would encourage you to invite everyone in the district to come to that Build a Vision meeting. You're going to have 40 to 50 that will show up. But what's going to happen, and I have seen it happen 3 times when I've facilitated these during the pilot project. We invited everyone in the district, 30 to 40 showed up. They began to talk about the proud past, the bright future, and all the different focus areas. And at the end of the day, without fail, 2 or 3 of them said, can I be a zone chairman next year? That I really would like to be a zone chair so I can help implement some of this plan. They had bought into the plan because they had helped develop the plan. They had bought into the vision because they had helped develop the vision. And if we're looking for leaders, isn't it great when they identify themselves? In one district, I saw, because I sat back there and witnessed it at the end of the day, 3 people come up to the district governor and say, I'd like to get in line to be the district governor. And they discussed where they were in their process. A club president, one had already been a zone chair, one had been a region chair, and they lined up back to back to back. And now they have their leadership succession plan for the next 3 years, because we invited them to build a vision with us. I had one club president that says, I've never been to a district meeting at all, but I had an email that said, Lion Bob, your opinion of what our future looks like is important. Will you join us at a Build a Vision meeting on Saturday? Gave the time and everything. He says, someone took the time to personalize that email to me, and I took the time to be here. And he was so excited, and he's not missed a zone or a cabinet meeting since, because he was given an opportunity to be on that team of visionaries. When you come together to build that vision, you're going to go through a discussion of your strengths, and every district has strengths, and your weaknesses. We all have some areas that we need to improve on, some opportunities that are out there, and some threats. And when we started this, we didn't even realize COVID would be a threat. But haven't we grown through this COVID pandemic? We have expanded our ability to Zoom, although some of us have Zoom fatigue. And I was so excited when I got to go to South Carolina for an in-person multiple district convention, when I got to go to Mississippi and Georgia, and now I get to visit in California. But that group is going to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And as you do, there's a question in the PowerPoint, and each of you can get those PowerPoints off the lionsclubs.org/NAMI, N-A-M-I site, and it'll direct you to the Global Membership Approach site. But one of the questions is, if somebody left your club today and called you in 5 years and says, what's your club doing? What would you like to be able to tell them? And as people begin to talk about what they would like to be able to tell folks in 5 years, we ended up with a situation where someone says, we would like to be able to tell them that we are sponsoring the first and only virtual Leo Club, and that we're meeting monthly, and college and university presidents and mission officers are mentoring our Leo students, and they're serving across our county in these ways. And I thought, wow, I had never even considered that to be a possibility, but this Lion had already thought about it. One other said, our Lions are hungry for membership training, and we would like to develop a deli where that they can come together and we can feed their hunger and provide resources and equip them to be better leaders. And from that come the concept of deli, where that instead of traveling to an advanced or emerging Lions Leadership Institute, we held it in our district on 3 Saturdays. So no one had to travel, no one had to take off work, and the clubs could pay $50 instead of having to pay a higher tuition. We had 20 people to participate in that. Of them, 8 are serving in zone chairs now. Once you finish your SWOT analysis, then you're going to move to your district goals. And notice those aren't district governor goals. Those are district goals, because those 40 people there are going to begin to answer questions and break into groups and talk about new clubs. Where can we form them? How many can we form? And we're going to give them the information that in the last 5 years, we've formed 2 or we've formed 3 clubs a year, so that they can have some realistic goals. We're going to encourage them to have some SMART goals. And the group is going to come up with a list that says, always one table is going to say, we can start 10 new clubs. And another table is going to say, we can start 1. And whoever facilitates your meeting has to reach that compromise, that consensus that is 2 or 3. And then they're going to prioritize the cities for you into their plan. They're going to say, we believe that this city and this city, we've got great contacts in. That city may not be ready. They just lost a major industry and is a little bit depressed. I think our time would be better spent over here. And that's fine. You're taking notes and everything said. New members, they're going to tell you how that they can bring in new members in different membership plans. And we're going to let them tell us what that they want us to do. Membership satisfaction, those new service ideas and those retention ideas and those leadership support ideas. The global membership approach is changing the way we think. It's not a program, it's a way we think. And we're moving from the district governor being the only one that is sort of leading the charge to the district governor being the head football coach who has a team of assistant coaches who are all handling different things. And isn't leadership just that? Leadership is when we get to the point that we can lead teams of teams. And the district governor is progressing to the point that they're leading a team that is starting new clubs. They're leading a team that is bringing new members in. They're leading a team enhancing our membership satisfaction. And they're leading a team supporting future leaders. And they are beginning to just be the chief executive officer and being the public relations officer, meeting with clubs, finding out problems, and then assembling the knowledgeable Lions to help them to get things done. It's a wonderful opportunity to build a vision. Now, how do you organize your district in order to implement this process? Because you've got the 4 focus areas. You've got the new clubs, new members, new service, and leadership. And this is a sample, because what did I say? We flipped the chart. It's your district, your way, your club, your way. You organize it any way that you want to. Several of our districts in the pilot determined that the GLT was the best person to lead the team of leadership support. And it is a team, because when you've got 30 to 40 visionaries, and at the end of the meeting, you say, which focus area are you most passionate about? And you've got 3 or 4 that says that they would like to work with leadership, then your GLT takes those 3 or 4 and they begin to work on the plan. The new service is your GST, and you've identified the visionaries that are passionate about service. And those 4, 5, 6 people are going to work and develop a plan for increasing our service and increasing our membership satisfaction. The same with our GMT, working with that team of people who are passionate. They're going to work with the clubs and coach them through the process of bringing more members in. And your new clubs, your district governor team, your region chairs, your zone chairs can focus on that. But you've got all of the input from all of your visionaries. So you already know where you're going, you know how many clubs you want to start. And as you build your plan, you can organize those and put dates on those and move forward. And so this is so important. Now, the question here is, do we need a champion? And I'm going to tell you that in my opinion, you need a champion. I believe that Coach Saban is the very best football coach in all of North America. And he's got a team. He's got an offensive coach. He's got a defensive coach. He's got special teams. He's got a strength coach. But he also has right at his right hand, outside of his office, an administrative assistant who does the scheduling. She makes sure that all of the people know when to meet and make sure that everyone is doing what they need to do in order to find success on Saturdays at the football team, at the football games. And so as a district governor, I think you need a champion. Your champion is a project manager. That project manager is there and it's your right hand, just communicating so that when you're doing the things that you need to do, that no one is neglected. You've got someone there that is championing your cause. They're a cheerleader. They're knowledgeable. They know where the resources are. They bring the resources to the table. They can help any of the groups achieve their goals, and they can hold some meetings from time to time to make sure that everybody is moving in the right direction. Is that to overstep the district governor? Not at all. But that is simply to support and to work with the district governor. That's why that I think that you need a district champion, because a good cheerleader is always a benefit to the district governor. Also, if we've been in Lions any time, we've got that 1 or 2 people that we call when we have some exciting news or we just need to be encouraged. And you as a district governor-elect have those in your district, and they've been your mentors, and they would be thrilled to be your champions. And so we've looked at the team, we've looked at the vision, we've invited everyone to be visionaries, and it's time to build that plan. Now, you're going to take, and all 4 of those areas are going to build 4 mini plans, and those 4 mini plans are going to come together into one master plan, and they're going to be woven together. Now, a champion can coordinate activities, because if we're not careful, our new clubs people get so excited, they send out an email on Monday that says, we're starting a new club in Sacramento. And if you know anyone there, please give us their names. And they give them a list of things they do to support new clubs. Well, Tuesday, the new member people get so excited that they're sent out and says, we want you to host a membership growth event this week or this month, and this is how you do it, and we're here to help you. And then the service people send out and say, we're hoping that every club can serve 1,000 people this month because we're wanting to have greater service numbers reported than any other district in California. And then Thursday, the leadership support people send out an email that says, we are really promoting the Learn Center, and we would like every club to have 5 of its members take a course on the Learn Center. And on Friday, you know what happens? Every club officer says, to heck with this mess. I don't care. I'm not opening my email anymore because it's not been coordinated. So what a champion can do for you is help these 4 areas to work together and put it on an annual calendar so that we have an emphasis every 3 or 4 weeks instead of everybody trying to dominate a club's time all during the same week. It makes a big difference if you've got that scheduler, that champion that can help you. But you're going to build that plan. And once you build that plan, then you're going to build success. You're going to have monthly district governor team meetings. You're going to talk about the district global action team, and you're going to meet with them. You're going to meet with your zone chairs. And why meet with your zone chairs on a Zoom call once a month? Because these zone chairs have gotten in the habit across the United States of having a title and not always fulfilling their responsibilities. But if monthly, they are expected to be on a call with the district governor, and he says, you've got these 4 clubs, tell us what's going on in those 4 clubs. That is going to hold them accountable. They're going to have to be out there. And also then you can recap. Our goal last month was to add 100 members across the district, and we added 103. Thank you so very much. Our goal this month is to have 60% of our clubs report service activities. Zone chairs, can you get on the phone and talk and help your clubs to report service? Next month, we're going to have this leadership training or this cabinet meeting, and zone chairs, we need you to begin to promote that for us now so that we can have all the right people in the place. And yet monthly, you're going to review your district goals with your global membership approach goals. And you're going to look at your progress. You're going to outline your plan of action for the next month. And when you go back and you monthly look at it, it's always going to be there. The challenge is for the GMT, GST, and GLT to build a core group of Lion volunteers to assist them in implementing the plan. For too many years, we've had a GMT who's been an individual and not a team, a global service team that's been one person but not a team, in the same way with leadership. And so this gives us an opportunity to take those visionaries, build a team, and then develop our membership, service, and leadership leader to the point that they can manage a team and that they can begin to support the district structure. T is for team, and there's no I in team. And so once again, it's a paradigm shift. We're shifting from district governor goals to district goals. We're shifting from one person's idea of what the district should look like to the visionary's idea and a vision for a better tomorrow. And we're shifting from individuals leading membership, service, and leadership to teams leading in those 3 areas. And I think it's going to be beneficial to us as we continue this process. And then your multiple leadership support. And on the same that you're doing the district, you need to do in the multiple district. And that is the GAT leaders need to be having a discussion every month. They need to be following up with the district governor teams and encouraging and how can we help? And if you'll notice in most of my emails, I will put in there, how can your global action team help you? Because people want to know that there's people there to support them, there's Lions there to support them, and that we're all in this together. And then the council chair and the council governors, every council governor meeting should have a slot to discuss the GMA in general. It's an opportunity for each of you to brag. And I realize with 15 districts in California that could take a while. It's the most valuable thing that you can do because you can learn from one another. If each of you had just 10 minutes, once again, I understand it'd take 2.5 hours to get through it. But if every district governor had the ability to say, this is what we've accomplished, these are some of our struggles, how have y'all overcome some of these issues and learn from one another, we're a stronger organization. It promotes the accountability. And how can you help? And a multiple district champion, they can bring and align all the district plans. They can work with your global action team on the multiple district level, and they can support the districts. What you'll find as you begin to have your multiple district champion look at 15 plans, there's some things that cross the board that a majority of the districts need. And there's no need to create that wheel 10 or 12 times across California when you can have one multiple district effort or one multiple district Zoom that would cover that. And most often we find that with guiding lion training, or we find that with an understanding of Constitution and bylaws, or an understanding of how to start Leo clubs. And if we can have Zoom meetings that go across the state and relieve some of the pressure of district plans and still help our governors and our district governor teams achieve their goals, then really that's what we're all about. The multiple districts should be supporting the districts, and our area leaders should be supporting our multiple districts and districts. And I, as the constitutional area leader, I should be supporting Lions at every level, because the question is, how can I help? What can we do together? I'm so excited about this process, this global membership approach. And there's a ton of resources available. As we started the pilot program, we started building resources that were needed by our pilot districts. And we've continued throughout this year as district governors have identified things that they need. We've developed them and we put them at the lionsclubs.org/NAMI. And now, in order for you to look there, you can look and you can see the process. You can also look there and see about the resources, and anything that you need should be there. But if it's not, you let your multiple district know, you let your area leader Mark know, you let me know, and we're going to find that resource and we're going to provide that to you, because there's no need for us to continue to recreate the wheel. Lions Clubs International has 80,000 pages of resources on their website. And we have probably somewhere in the world already addressed the situation you have. Just ask, and we will try to locate it. We've got a great staff in Oak Brook that assists the area leaders and assist me in finding ways to solve problems and get district governor teams the resources that they need. We're going to equip, we're going to empower, and we're going to encourage. I probably talked too long, Mark, forgive me, but that's my overview.
No, you were just fine.
The Global Action Team. Comments, questions, concerns, because I know we have a huge group here today, and this is my last slide. So what I'm going to do, if it's okay, is I'm going to stop, other than I'm going to tell you thank you, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can see one another and to talk through whatever that we need to talk through. Questions, comments, concerns? I put him to sleep, Mark.
Oh, no, you did. Let's start off with James's comment. It's very good to hear that we are giving importance to clubs and membership and trying to see the organization chart upside down with clubs on the top than in the bottom. They are at the center core of the organization. James, when I was a district governor, we inverted the pyramid, and that pyramid inversion made many benefits for us that we didn't see. So that's really the process that NAMI's giving you. So that was very insightful comment.
Thank you.
Lion Mike had mentioned the fact that in Ventura, they've gone from 6 clubs to 1 club. And we have seen that across the United States. But what we have also seen as we're moving forward, the concept of specialty clubs is really catching on. And in Huntsville, Alabama, we've got 2 traditional clubs that have been around for years. But the next endeavor that our visionaries wanted to do was a diabetes club in Huntsville, because the Huntsville Hospital has a children's unit that deals with diabetes there. And so we will begin to start marketing Lions clubs to the parents of diabetic children, and also to the diabetes educators at the hospital, as well as the doctors that specialize in diabetes. And we believe we can put a group together that will raise funds and send children to diabetic camp. They will also begin to hold quarterly public forum meetings talking about diabetes, whether we can educate, we can empower those with diabetes to manage their condition, and then we can eradicate by funding some research. And so specialty clubs may be an answer in some of our larger cities where the number of clubs have decreased, and we just go in and we have clubs that are focused in one area.
And Donna says, our district has a new club development chair. So will the GMA oversee this position now, or do we eliminate the NCD chair?
Your district is empowered to do whatever is best for your district. I would think that this new club development chair becomes the chairman of the team in Focus Area 1, new clubs. And I think that it's a great innovation, but it's your district and you can do it your way, and no one at Lions Clubs International is ever going to discourage you from doing it your way. Does that help, Donna? Okay, I got a thumbs up from
Yes,
Donna.
you do.
Thank you.
Jerome, could you define specialty clubs for us a little bit better? Oftentimes we talk specialty clubs, people just think ethnic-based clubs.
Oh, no, ethnicity is one specialty, but a specialty club is a club with a single interest that comes together and forms to meet a specific need in the community. That could be a diabetes club. That could be a club that comes together to only work in the area of pediatric cancer. I've seen specialty clubs that deal only with Friends of the Library. There's a literacy problem in the community, and they had a Friends of the Library group, but they weren't really incorporated, and they were having to pay a lot for their liability insurance. And by joining a Lions Club, they got the benefit of our insurance. They got the benefit of our branding and our name, and it was easier for them to raise money in the community to support literacy programs. And so it can be a special interest of that nature. The other thing too is you've got athletic support groups at the high schools. Most of those are either paying for their liability insurance or they have none. If they form a Lions Club, we can provide them the insurance, but we also provide them a brand. And so it's a special interest, one focused type group. And that specialty club can meet as a traditional club once, twice a month. They can meet as a cyber club. They can always meet online on Zoom, or it might be a hybrid type club. They meet once a month on Zoom, and then once a month they meet in person to do some type of service project in their community. There's some great pages on lionsclubs.org dealing with specialty clubs.
Hey, Mike, during the convention, you asked a bunch of people the same question. Did you want to pose that maybe to Jerome about younger members?
Jerome,
Sir.
do you know any young people, such as yourself at one time in your history, that we could attract to become members?
Let me tell you, Mike, that is a very good question. In my club in Moulton, Alabama, 3,500. And sometimes the only thing we can talk about it is what we do day to day in our own communities. So I will tell you that my club is not perfect, but we've done some things right. A few years ago, there was a young man who had finished high school with in between my sons, He's about 28 right now, but he was about 25 when he joined the club. We wanted to start a community garden in our community in order to meet the needs of world hunger. And I knew that Cody, when he finished school in Alabama, went to Denver, he'd worked the ski slopes. He was, not to be offensive to anyone, he was just a tree hugger. And he's a great kid, but he moved back to Moulton to raise his family. They had a small baby and wanted to be near grandparents. And so when we started the discussion community project, somebody says, oh, we'd like to do that, but we don't have anyone in the club that has time to do that. We're just so stretched so thin. I said, do you mind if I recruit someone? So I took Cody to lunch. And at 25, I said, Cody, I've watched you grow up. You've played baseball with my boys. You've been in school with my boys. And this is the project that the Lions Club would like to take on. But we don't have anyone with your expertise that knows how to build these raised bed gardens and raise food. And we'll help you harvest it and pass it out. But would you join the Lions Club to take on this project for us? Because it'll be a tremendous asset. He joined the Lions Club. He's become one of our most active Lions members for the last 3 years. And it's all because we found his passion, his purpose, and matched it with our project. And so as you're out talking with younger people, we're not asking them to join a Lions Club. We're asking them to make a difference. And if we'll ask them to make a difference and then we give them a way to make a difference, they will always be one of our finest members. Does that help your answer your question, Mike?
Very enlightening. Thank you. But there are other people who join Lions for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I, for one, was one of them. I knew nothing about the service projects that the Lions took up. And when I was invited, I was impressed by the business people, the ranchers, the farmers, the business people. I'd started my business and I was welcomed into this very respectable group of guys that became my friends and we had fun with. So that was my motivation for joining. And I think if each one of us could ask, not necessarily a young person, because older fogies have value too, we could just, if, half of our members invited one or two people into not joining, but just inviting them to a meeting, I think half of them would become new members. So that's why I have a 10% goal of membership growth for my coming year.
That is awesome. The other thing is invite them to a service project. If we get people to come and serve and engaged with us, they may enjoy that more than some of our meetings, which can be a little dry and boring and at times controversial because we have several type A personalities in clubs who want to butt heads. We really have to determine, and I have to ask myself quite often when I'm sitting in my club meeting and they get off in a tangent somewhere, is this a hill I want to die on? And if it's not, just let them run with it. If it's something that's unethical, something that's illegal, then we have to address it. But if it is something that's just a matter of opinion, I've learned to bite my tongue a lot. And as Lion leaders, that's so important too, because we've got to give folks room to grow. I'm a storyteller of sorts. And so I'll tell you that Sheffield, Alabama, when I was the district governor in 1995, I went over there and there was 5 older gentlemen. I think their average age was 83. And they said, we want young members. We want young members. And I know young is just really your perspective of what young might be. And so I asked him, I said, well, define young members for me. And you got to remember, I was 35 at that time. And so I'd ask these questions and they said, oh, 18, 19, 20. And without thinking, it just come out. I said, if y'all went over here to the college and began to invite 18, 19, 20-year-old young ladies out to a meeting with you, they would think that you were an old perverted man. And they said, well, I guess you're right. I said, so what I'd like you to do is just simply to subtract 10 years from your age and invite somebody that is 73 to join your club. And then in 3 months, everybody subtract 10 years from their age, and you'll invite another 73 and they'll invite a 63. Do you know over a period of 3 years, we dropped that average age from 83 down to about 56 simply by subtracting 10 and continuing to invite people on a quarterly basis.
Great
Young
idea.
Young as a perspective.
Good story.
Well, thank you.
Linda,
I enjoy the storytelling part.
would you tell us about your Cub Club that you just chartered? You're still not,
Speakers aren't on.
your speakers may not be on. Well, Linda just chartered a Cub Club. And I think that's about the third Cub Club I've heard in our multiple district. And I'm sorry she can't talk about it. Does anybody else have Cub Clubs? Does anybody know what a Cub Club is?
I just changed speakers. Is that any better?
Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay. The Cup Club theory or premise has been around, I guess, for quite a while. However, we've taken it one step farther. My daughter has a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old, and she was doing service for various organizations in town, as well as for our Lions Club. When COVID hit, all of those services seemed to stop. So she was at a loss as to what to do with her kids. So she and I started talking one day about what do Lions offer that age group. And yes, they have the activities and stuff that's within the club. They would be part of a bigger club that's already established. She said, Mom, can't we do a club of just kids? And to do that, and I said, why not? Let's do it. Let's see what happens and make it work. So we put our heads together and came up with the idea that these kids are going to be involved big time, but they need their parents. So the parents are actually the legitimate members. Okay. They're the leaders of the club. They're the members, but at the same time, the idea is to get the kids involved. So each one of the children that are 10 years and older, they're 10 to 12, they are co-president, co-secretary. They are being mentored by the parent, but the focus is going to be on teaching the kids, not so much the parents doing the 100% job, but the kids are going to be doing the job. They're going to be presenting their fundraisers. They're going to brainstorm. They're going to do everything that the adult clubs do, but more on a, on more of a child's intellectual level, if you will. They're very excited. They just got their charter. They're raring to go. Last weekend, we had just the board members, the kids, come to an eyeglass sorting. We did the eyeglass Zenny thing. They worked like little troopers. They were cleaning up plastic and trying on glasses like everybody does. They had a great time. They are looking, but we're going to do this quarterly in our district, or in our zone, actually. They are already planning on who's bringing drinks, who's going to be in charge of the plastic bags. These kids, 10 years old, they're running with it. They are really, really excited. The parents are thrilled because now the kids are saying, what can we do? We do special kids day, which is a special needs camp that we're doing. They're planning their activity for that. It is so exciting to watch these their children, come up with these ideas that others are going to benefit from, and they're understanding why we do this. They're understanding and asking questions. Many conversations came up during our food drive that they participated in. Who gets this food? Why do they need the food? What can we do to get more food? All these questions are, these are building little leaders, and I'm very, very excited. Can you tell? I'm very excited about it. So I do have one little story to share really quick. My grandson, of course, is the co-president. He was listening to his mom talk to a local business here about a meeting place, and he hears my daughter say, no, we don't need food or beverages. We just need to have a place to meet. So that was that part of the conversation. They set their date. She hung up and he said to her, "No food?" And she said, "We don't need food for a meeting." And he said, "Well, as co-president, I require that the Cub Club have food at their meetings." End of discussion. So they're getting the gist of all this. Might need to be fine-tuned a little bit, but they're excited. So I'm excited for them. And I think that's a whole untapped area of service providers, if you will. Thank you. Did you hear any of that?
Every single word.
Okay, I won't use that other speaker anymore. Thank you.
I have a question from one of our members here. When will our district GMAs learn about the new process discussed here?
When will your districts? global
When will
leadership-
district GMAs learn about the new process discussed here? Is a Zoom meeting scheduled for them, or do we as DGEs need to meet with them?
It would be, we have had a series of webinars for the last 2 years on the process. We continue to do this process. Your area leader, who is Mark, is available. But I think that you as district governor-elects, if you've not already held your Build a Vision meeting, needs to even do it now and begin that process, and then reinforce it with your next year's district governor-elect in the spring and refine it. When will your district learn about GMA? Really, you as the district governor are going to have to carry that message to the zones and the clubs, but your area leaders and I are available to assist you in doing that.
Thank you. And I don't know if you know, Jerome, but we have IPDG Juanita Nichols here, and she was one of the zone pilot projects this year.
Okay.
And so they did such a fantastic job. And I know you met with another district this weekend where they also had a zone pilot project in C3. So we're eager to go. So if anybody wants to know about the zone level, I would talk to Juanita. We'll be figuring out how we're going to get this information to you guys starting in July. But Juanita, do you have anything to say about the zone?
No, it's been a great experience, and the way the steering committee has led us literally has helped us. They literally held our hand through the whole process. That was I think the biggest plus of it, from the moment of doing the officer surveys, the SWOT analysis, and all the way through. So we walked with our zone chairs throughout the whole process to developing their plan. So right now, what I have, instead of just the one zone participating, I will have a total of 4 zones doing the GMA approach for this coming year. And they saw the outcome with the zone, even though we have not had any growth, unfortunately, but there is a lot of promise there for this coming year. So we expect to put it in full force, and I'll be working with DGE Mike, and thank heavens we do have a GMT coordinator for the coming year, so that'll be a huge help. But no, it's been a wonderful process, and C3 has also has had a great experience as well too. But I think for us to continue promoting that pilot project, I think that's going to be a big plus in bringing it down to the club levels.
Thank you.
Is there results that we can share, Juanita?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I could ask Crystal for them because she does present results at each meeting. Our next meeting won't be until next week, but I could share what she has presented up to this point right now.
Good,
But
I
there is
appreciate
growth.
that.
There is growth, yes.
Super.
And we're going to be encouraging past district governors, past directors, and past presidents to adopt a club and to walk with zones and clubs through this process, because the most important thing I think that has been found is the communication is important, but unfortunately or fortunately, handholding is important too, because a lot of our clubs, they really have a desire to excel. They just don't know how to excel. And when you put someone there that is experienced to walk alongside them, to prop them up and to assist them to avoid some potholes, then we find success. Lion, Juanita, thank you very much for all your efforts and everything you've done.
Lion Mike?
I have a story that might be as good as Linda's that really happened. Jeff Roundy and I were the guiding lions of the Ojai Valley Lions Club 14 years ago. They, all young people, would bring their wives, husbands, and children to all the meetings at a community center, and grew to there are currently 50 members there. They raise huge amounts of money selling Christmas trees in December. 6 of our own club members went up to help them in their Christmas tree sales. Very successful club. Anyway, so bringing in not only regular members, but younger people, even down to 1, 2 years old. Some of my grandkids would enjoy the meetings of the Lions Club because they were at a community center with playgrounds and basketball courts. And so there are lots of opportunities.
And for everyone, Jerome has put his email address and his texting phone number in the chat room. And I can tell you, for the time I've known him, he is very responsive, and I would use him as a resource, as well as myself come July 1st, but he's here to help. He's here to provide some answers and help us in direct our path. So please, as awkward as this may sound, take advantage of Jerome. He's here for us.
Well, and Lion Denny has done a great job as an area leader as well. And he wanted to retire and get a few things off of his plate. I'm excited for all that he's contributed, but I'm also excited for what Mark brings to the table. I think the Lions of California are very fortunate to have outstanding up and coming leaders. And we just have to continue to work through some challenges and get us to where that we need to be. Thank you so very much for joining me this morning. And I'm going to join another group at 6 this evening. If you want to come back and hear the same thing again, you're more than welcome.
Or if you have questions that you think about between now and then, by all means, come back. Thank you, PID Jerome. And I'll let the rest of you guys go back to work.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Actually, good morning.
Good morning.
Bye,
I'm so
everybody.
used to being at
Bye-bye.
night.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.